want to talk to you real quick about the outlook that some people have on their marriage. And so I have my trusty little rope here. This is pretty simple, but not until you really get a grasp on it or understand it does it start to click. So a lot of times people look at their marriage as a rope. And when something happens, when there's a problem, when there's an issue, when there's a discussion, there's kind of like a nick in the rope. And so a lot of times you get into this mindset where you feel like, okay, there's going to be enough issues and enough problems and enough things go wrong to finally where this rope just snaps because it just got frayed and frayed and frayed. And so, you kind of get to that end where it's just starting to fall apart and all those things. And pretty soon you think it's just going to snap. Just boom. Kind of like they say the straw that broke the camel's back. But the truth is that if you change your outlook, it actually can do just the opposite. If you look at it as every time there's a problem or there's an issue, we call that nick or that fray and that rope. If you choose to then recognize it and you'll say, okay, if that's there, then let's double it up and let's talk about it. And simply by talking about it and recognizing it, you can strengthen that issue. And so now, if there's another thing that comes along and you nick it and there's a fray, then you can again take some, look at it again, deal with it again, and all of a sudden bring even more strength to it. And so the more that something happens to your relationship, understand two perspectives. One, if you just ignore it and kind of wait for the final shoe to drop, and it's going to just, it's going to build up, build up, build up, and then snap, and it's going to be over. Well, then probably, even if you don't get a divorce, it's going to be just an ugly environment to live in. But if you look at it the other way, where when there is an issue, when there is a problem, when there is a discussion, when there is something that you don't necessarily agree with, what you do is rather than just kind of turn your back to it and think, well, there's another little snip, there's a little fray again in the rope, what you do is you choose to talk about it. And again, we've come back to this point a million times, but I can't stress it enough. Typically, healthy marriages, they don't solve their problems, they don't solve their issues. They acknowledge them, they talk about them. One person shares their feeling on them, the other person shares their feeling on them, and they choose to just kind of get along and maybe completely disagree on the issue, but they don't make the issue an issue. I know, crazy, right? But they don't make the issue an issue. They make the issue an opportunity for them to build a bridge and communicate. Because the truth is, we say this again and again and again, healthy marriages focus on building a friendship. They don't focus on repairing all these disagreements or working through every issue or learning how to agree on every little detail. Because the truth is that just doesn't happen. Work on your friendship. So when you see that rope and there's a fray in it, don't think, oh, there's one more little fray. When's the break going to come? Look at that fray as an opportunity to turn around and build friendship. May it be a reminder to build a friendship in your marriage, because that's really what a healthy marriage is about. I don't know if you've ever gotten to this point in your life where you get married and after a while, you get chippy and you back and forth, and maybe you just stop at some point and you go, man, can we just be friends? Can we just get back to being friends? And that's really the core of what a great marriage is. That's the heart of a great marriage, being friends. And unfortunately, it takes so many frays in the rope to finally almost people in exasperation, not realizing that that was the key from the beginning. They just said, man, I wish we could just be friends again. If we could just get back to friends. Sure, husband and wife and lovers and all those things, that would be great, but could we just be friends? Why don't you start with that in mind? So every time there's a little fray in the rope, stop and say, hey, let's work on friendship. That's what it's all about. Garth Heckman, this is your Monday Morning Marriage Minute. Don't forget to keep sending in your questions to 1minutemarriage@gmail.com. Thanks for all your emails. I apologize that I can't respond immediately because there have been a lot, but I do try to get to all of them. So enjoy your Monday. And don't forget to spend time with the person you're married to because, come on, let's be honest, they're your best friend, right? All right. We'll send out another short marriage minute later this week, so check that out. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Monday Morning Marriage Minute. We'll see you next week.